the fact that she didn't just break the record, but now she's, gonna break 100.
Well, what Mikaela Shiffrin has achieved so far in her career is truly crazy, because amazing just won't cut it anymore.
I think if you look at it, it's the evolution of sports, we all push each other to break new glass ceilings, and she's pushed.
Shiffrin's success, so far, is undeniable, but Lindsey Vonn is no slouch either. Vonn, an American Alpine skier who won 4 Women's World Cup overall championships, was the first woman to win 82 World Cup races. She also claimed 3 Olympic Winter Games medals and 8 World Championships medals during her international racing career. She first burst onto the international skiing scene in 1999 at age 14, when she won the slalom race at Italy's Trofeo Topolino competition for skiers aged 11-14, becoming the first American female to capture the event. It didn't take long before she competed in the 2002 Winter Olympics. She unfortunately failed to medal there and then, again at the 2006 Olympic Winter Games. The first being her debut Olympics, she probably wasn't as skilled as her competitors. The latter, however, was due to an injury. Still, even though she crashed during a downhill training run and was airlifted to a hospital, she returned and within 2 days was competing despite the injury. While she did not win a medal, her courageous showing earned her the U.S. Olympic Spirit Award. The following year, she partially tore the anterior cruciate ligament in her right knee in a crash during a training session to put an early end to her season. It didn't take long for her to bounce back from injury once more, and she had the best year of her career during the 2007-2008 skiing season. From there, she collected medals and points from various major events, including but not limited to the World Cup and Winter Olympics. Unfortunately, she was sidelined by injuries here and there too. Then, in 2019, Lindsey officially decided to hang up her skis after battling a string of tough injuries. It was a bittersweet farewell as she acknowledged the toll these injuries had taken on her, pushing her to step away from the slopes she had ruled for so long. I am struggling with the reality of what my body is telling me versus what my mind and heart believe I'm capable of. The unfortunate reality is my mind and body are not on the same page. The ski legend with a record 97 World Cup wins admitted. Now though, with the FIS World Cup just around the corner, rumors are flying that she might be making a comeback. The buzz has got everyone talking, including her fellow champion Mikaela Shiffrin, who's hot on her heels with 82 victories. Her recent posts on Instagram fueled the murmurs even more. A few weeks ago, she captioned a photo of herself. "Being back in the mountains is where I find so much joy. It's my natural habitat." She quipped, "Even if I hate being cold." It was followed by a video of herself in her natural habitat. She wrote, "What makes me happy? Well, skiing." She added that she's thankful to be back on the mountain again, where she feels the most inner peace and joy. "I'm not defined by skiing, I am simply a woman who loves to ski," she added. "I know the difference now. I don't need skiing to make me happy, but my love for it will never go away." A few days back, Lindsey Vonn again took to Instagram to share a beautiful snapshot of herself standing proudly by the clear waters of Lake Tekapo, New Zealand, with her hands lifted high in the air. In her caption, she opened up about her journey, calling each day a victory and expressing how proud she feels of how far she's come, despite the highs and lows along the way. She credited her late mother for instilling a resilient spirit, one that remains unbroken no matter the challenges she faces. While she may be unsure of the specifics, she's certain of one thing. She's healthy, happy, and grateful for the opportunity to chase the things she loves. For Vonn, life's journey is a blessing she doesn't take for granted, and she's ready to welcome whatever comes next. Lindsey Vonn made a comeback to the New Zealand slopes and even took to Instagram to share a video of her skiing and flaunting her physical transformation. After years of injuries and a knee replacement earlier this year, she's going back to basics, sparking buzz and leaving her rivals stunned. If Vonn indeed makes her return this season, she'll face off against 5-time world champion Mikaela Shiffrin. Shiffrin, however, seems excited and supportive. At a recent Atomic Media Day event, she commented, "I only heard about this really recently, so I don't actually have too much to say." Even with limited info, Shiffrin wished her well, adding with a smile, "I would just say good luck. I mean, I wish her the best." She expressed genuine interest in how the season will unfold, especially with Vonn possibly returning alongside Marcel Hirscher. For Shiffrin, Vonn's comeback could signal that she's overcome her injuries and is feeling strong again. Vonn, on the other hand, talked about Mikaela Shiffrin's moment of bidding goodbye to the game. Vonn simply doesn't think it's in the offing anytime soon. In fact, she recently told Olympics.com, "She can go as long as she wants. I think it's just a matter of whether she wants to and if she can stay healthy." On that note, Lindsey thinks Mikaela might want to narrow her choice of disciplines to safer options. Anyhow, with the FIS Ski World Cup rapidly approaching, the excitement for the showdown on the snow is palpable. Fans are also waiting to watch Mikaela Shiffrin as she is gearing up to return after a challenging comeback from injury. After a devastating crash last January, Shiffrin returned to dominate the snowy heights just 2 months later. Now, as she is primed to deliver breathtaking performances and eyes the crystal globe, a growing frustration has been surfacing among fans. With all eyes stuck on the icy slopes, Mikaela is now set to kick off the season in Sölden, Austria, in a few days. But as anticipation builds for the start of the season, a major broadcasting issue has dampened the thrill surrounding the event. The issue regarding a fragmented system has become a point of contention in the ski racing community. For context, the US ski and snowboard team announced that broadcast rights for the World Cup are decentralized. This would mean that every country is responsible for selling its rights individually. This announcement has left several fans in the lurch, as they are unable to access the coverage easily. Acknowledging the disappointment of the audience, Shiffrin voiced her opinion, writing, "May not be the most ideal situation because broadcast rights for our sport are not yet centralized." Nevertheless, she made sure to let fans know the details of how to watch this year's World Cup. The skiing icon herself, Lindsey Vonn, shared her take on the issue too. Vonn, who has been a former teammate of Shiffrin, has been outspoken about the challenges ski racing faces in gaining more exposure, especially in the US. During a recent interview with Olympics.com, Vonn expressed her exasperation at how difficult it is to follow the sport on television in America. "Right now in the United States, you really can't watch ski racing, which is crazy," Vonn stated unapologetically. "We can only watch Austrian races, and it's only on one channel at 3 in the morning, so not many people are watching ski racing in the US right now." Most of you are probably aware that Vonn, along with many others, has always been a vocal advocate for their sport.
I've always tried to do in my career to push the sport, but I have some ideas on how to promote the sport better, how to present. I hope we can find a way.
Pushing for changes in the sport is not limited to skiers. Other athletes do too. Watch this.
I'm doing okay. I'm probably doing a lot better than I should be doing, but
is she ready to take on Lindsey Vonn?
Was on the verge of her 100th World Cup victory, leading after the first run of a giant slalom when this happened. She crashed out in run 2.
After this, probably not. But that's not to say she'll be ready to be on the ice soon enough. That's quite a development in the skiing world. One is sidelined by a quote-unquote injury, while another is making a comeback. Regardless, both Mikaela and Lindsey are considered to be among the greatest skiers of all time. In fact, the two American skiers once shared the record of World Cup wins for women, before Shiffrin overtook Vonn. Yep, Team USA's alpine skiing star Mikaela Shiffrin holds the record of 99 World Cup wins, having tied and then surpassed Lindsey Vonn on 82. Mikaela reached 82 wins at 27 years and 302 days of age after 233 races, while Lindsey was 33 years and 147 days old when she clinched her last World Cup victory. Notably, Shiffrin made her World Cup debut in 2011 and raced against Vonn until 2019. when the Vancouver 2010 Olympic gold medalist retired at the end of the season. The two global icons competed against each other at the Pyeongchang 2018 giant slalom event, where Shiffrin won gold, while Vonn skied out in the second run. They met again in the Super G at the Ari 2019 Worlds, where Shiffrin once again earned gold. Vonn was DNF, or did not finish. Both skiers represented the Vail Ski Club during their career, and they only shared the podium once in a World Cup. That was in January 2018 at the downhill event in Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy, when Vonn finished second behind Sofia Goggia, while Shiffrin placed third. Remember how Shiffrin surpassed Vonn's World Cup wins? The most recent ones in the count were actually achieved just last month. In mid-November, the US Alpine skiing star earned her record-extending 98th career World Cup. She basically dominated the first Women's World Cup slalom of the season for her 98th win. No other skier, male or female, has won more than 86 races. Amazing way to start the slalom season. I'm super happy, Shiffrin said. She built on a big first-run lead with an aggressive yet controlled second run down the Levi Black course to beat 2021 slalom world champion Katharina Liensberger of Austria by 0.79 seconds. Unsurprisingly, Shiffrin was lauded by Lindsey Vonn for clinching her 98th World Cup in the first slalom of the ski season in Finland. "Congrats, Mikaela Shiffrin," wrote Vonn in an X post. In a previous interview with Olympics.com, Lindsey Vonn praised Mikaela Shiffrin for breaking the record with 97 World Cup wins, and also exuded excitement about the possibility of her accomplishing 100 wins. The fact that she didn't just break the record, but now she's going to break 100 is crazy. And I think if you look at it, it's the evolution of sports. When I broke the record, it was at 63, and I made it to 82. So that's about 20 wins, she said. Calling Shiffrin an amazing advocate for the sport, Vonn added, and then she broke the record, so 20 wins more than that is 100. So it kind of seems like it's going in a great direction, and, you know, we need that, ski racing needs that, and she's been an amazing advocate for the sport. Vonn wasn't wrong when she said that Shiffrin is so close to accomplishing 100 wins. In fact, her 99th win came just a couple of days after her 98th. Still in November, Mikaela Shiffrin took the win in Austria, ahead of World Cup podium debutantes Lara Colturi and Camille Rast, to move one step closer to 100 World Cup wins. She secured her record-extending 99th career World Cup win in the Gurgel Slalom to stay on top of the overall 2024 25th Alpine Skiing FIS World Cup standings. Leading by 0.13 seconds after the first run, the two-time Olympic gold medalist sealed the victory by a margin of 0.55 seconds from Albanian 18-year-old Lara Colturi and Camille Rast of Switzerland, who both secured their first-ever World Cup podiums with their efforts in Austria. This was Shiffrin's 62 World Cup slalom win, and her second in as many weeks after triumphing in Levi, Finland. It was also her 154th career Alpine World Cup podium, which means that she is just one shy of that record held by Swedish legend Ingemar Stenmark. "I was really nervous on the top," Shiffrin shared post-race. "It feels really satisfying to have a great run down this slope. What a wonderful day today." With momentum in her sails, Shiffrin was set to bid for World Cup victory number 100 on home snow, as World Cup action moved to Killington, Vermont, where she is scheduled to compete in the slalom and giant slalom. "I guess there's a bit of pressure around it, but I'll try to ignore that," she said. "If it happens, it's wonderful. If it doesn't happen, nothing to cry about in the grand scheme. I hope to have a really good performance in front of the home crowd." Well, she would probably have her 100th win by now, if only she didn't get injured in the process.
Shiffrin, is the historical moment coming today? Shiffrin is...
Luckily, after being down for about 20 minutes, she was able to make it down with the help of a sled and gave a wave to the fans to at least show that her spirits...
Even Sarah Hector, who was declared the winner at the event, was saddened by what happened.
Then it's just so sad, of course, to see Mikaela crash like that and skiing so well, so it breaks my heart and everybody else here.
Do not fret though, since the American ski racer was alert and was immediately evaluated for injuries after crashing in her second run of a World Cup giant slalom race, doing a flip and sliding into the protective fencing. Shiffrin stayed down on the edge of the course for quite some time as the ski patrol attended to her. She was taken off the hill on a sled and waved to the cheering crowd. The U.S. ski team said she was taken to a medical clinic for evaluation. Prior to that, the 29-year-old was, surprise, surprise, leading after the first run of the GS and charging after her 100th World Cup win. She was within sight of the finish line, 5 gates onto Killington's steep finish pitch, when she lost the grip on her outside ski. She hit a gate and did a somersault before sliding into another gate. The fencing slowed her momentum as she came to an abrupt stop. The crash was a surprise, given that Shiffrin rarely records a DNF, or did not finish. In 275 World Cup starts, she has recorded a DNF only 19 times. The last time she did not finish in GS was in January 2018. Following her crash at the Stifle Killington Cup, Mikaela was taken down by sled and transferred by ambulance to be evaluated at Rutland Regional Medical Center. U.S. Ski and Snowboard said in a statement, "There was no ligament damage assessed. Bones and internal organs look okay. There is a puncture wound into the right side of her abdomen and severe muscle trauma." Shiffrin reassured her fans through a social media post. "Not really too much cause for concern at this point, I just can't move," she said. "I'm so sorry to scare everybody. Thank you for the support and concern." She also wrote in an Instagram post, "Gonna be a minute, like a few weeks minimum, to be able to take on much of any force." And so, while she is pretty much recuperating, Olympic gold medalist Lindsey Vonn returned to competition for the first time in almost 6 years a few days back, as the 40-year-old American finished in the middle of the pack in her first 2 races in Copper Mountain, Colorado. The 4 times overall World Cup champion retired in 2019 and underwent partial knee replacement surgery in April, returning to training in recent months and announcing her comeback in November. What happens from here on out remains to be seen, just like it isn't clear-cut what this athlete's future will look like.
In 2019, legendary ski racer Lindsey Vonn retired. She said back then her body was telling her it's time.
But wait, there's more. Now.
On Saturday, at age 40, she'll return to the starting gate in Switzerland with what she calls,
as you all may know, she isn't the first, and probably not going to be the last, athlete to make a comeback after announcing retirement. If she feels she can still do it, who can stop her, right? In her words.
The reason why I'm coming back is because why not? You know, my body feels amazing, but I know today I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, and if I can ski.
In a statement, the 3-time Olympic medalist explained what motivated her to return to racing at 40. "I am not holding on to the past, I am embracing the future," she shared on social media. "Call me naive, but I believe in the impossible, because it's only impossible until someone does it," she added. She wrapped up the lengthy post with, "Life is too short to sit on the sidelines. Let's get back in the game." The 4-time overall World Cup winner shared that her beloved sport is only part of a bigger journey, one that saw her successfully move on after her retirement from ski racing. Growing her business and focusing on her foundation, which serves underprivileged girls, have been her focus since. Vonn further revealed that during her time away from competition, she had the chance to reflect on her purpose in life, and coming back to racing now has a deeper meaning for her. "This time, it's more than just picking myself back up. I'm rebuilding myself," she explained, adding that she's never felt stronger or had more self-belief. The Team USA legend explained that she came back for herself and not to prove anything to anybody. "I will fight to do what makes me happy," she wrote. Inspired by LeBron James and Roger Federer, the 40-year-old is returning to the US team almost 6 years after her retirement. "Getting back to skiing without pain has been an incredible journey," Vonn said after weeks of rumors about her comeback. "I am looking forward to being back with the Stifle US ski team and to continue to share my knowledge of the sport with these incredible women." The 3-time Olympic medalist has successfully recovered from partial knee replacement surgery earlier this year and got back to training over the past couple of months. My goal is to enjoy this, and hopefully that road takes me to World Cup races. I wouldn't be back on the US ski team if I didn't have intentions, Vonn told the New York Times. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't hope to be racing. I have aspirations. I love to go fast. How fast can I go? I don't know. Even the next Olympics, Milano Cortina 2026, is in the back of her mind. I've always enjoyed racing in Cortina, and I've had a lot of success in Cortina, she revealed. I don't know what the next few months and the next year and a half hold for me, so I can't say right now if it's a possibility, she added. But I think everyone knows how much I love Cortina. Today, her comeback is well on the way. It hasn't been too long ago when the Olympic legend announced her return to competition at the upcoming World Cup in St. Moritz, after serving as an alpine skiing forerunner at the World Cup in Beaver Creek. The Vancouver 2010 downhill champion spoke to reporters about her return to competition during a U.S. ski team press conference ahead of the women's Birds of Prey speed races at Beaver Creek. Vonn shared that her motivation for returning to competition was that "I was put back together again," referring to her April 2024 partial knee replacement surgery. Prior to this surgery, she was in pain 24 hours a day, the four-time Olympian revealed, and had kept racing through the injuries and pain because of her love for ski racing. "No injury ever held me back until it finally broke me," Vonn said. Needless to say, the surgery had been a major turning point in the skier's well-being. "It was pretty soon after surgery in the rehab process that I was already doing things that I hadn't done in years," she said. "I feel stronger now than I did in my mid to late 20s. My body is cooperating, and thankfully, that titanium piece is really working out well." With this new chance at competing, Vonn made it clear that her return to the slopes is not just about participating, but winning races too. "I definitely have goals and expectations, and I'm trying to be as patient as possible with myself on this journey, and take it step by step and not skip any steps," Vonn said. "I know my way back to a competitive level might take a race or two, but I certainly intend on getting back to where I was before." Just so you know, if you didn't already, Vonn was able to secure her World Cup racing qualification by competing in 2 Super Gs and 2 downhill races at Copper Mountain in December. She took advantage of a new wildcard rule to secure entry into the St. Moritz World Cup. In light of this, what everybody wants to know is how fast she can go on her titanium knee, and how competitive will she be. "It's a question that's been going through my head a lot over the last week," said Chris Knight, Vonn's personal coach. She's not far away. While Vonn has won a record 28 World Cup Super Gs, including 3 at the Swiss resort, calculating her current potential is not an exact science. During 2 lower-level FIS Super G races in Copper Mountain, Colorado, 2 weeks ago, she finished 24th and 19th. However, not too much should be read into those results, because Vonn's main goal was just completing the race with a half-decent time to gain the necessary qualifying points to return to the World Cup, which she accomplished. A better guide might be the recent World Cup races in Beaver Creek, Colorado, when Vonn was the final forerunner testing the course. Knight said that Vonn's forerunning times were 1.2 seconds behind downhill winner Cornelia Huter and 1.4 behind Super G winner Sofia Goggia, which would have placed her about 12th in both races. But Vonn said she wasn't going 100% during her forerunning duties. "She's still got a lot left. She can push a lot harder," Knight told the press as he arrived in St. Moritz. "Once she gets in the start gate with the bib on, she's going to go obviously as hard as she can." Unsurprisingly, but still sadly, some people choose to criticize her, thinking she's crazy for returning to ski racing at age 40. And she's tired of it. Vonn recently defended her return to the World Cup circuit. Responding to those in the skiing world who are questioning her comeback, Vonn, in a post on X, said, "You know, I'm getting pretty tired of people predicting negative things about my future. It's enough now. Did they all become doctors and I missed it? Because they talk like they know more than the best doctors in the world." In an interview Thursday with Eurosport's Victoria Rebensberg, Vonn said, "I think that's something that bothers me. is that people think that I'm taking more risks than anyone else. But I know downhill probably better than almost anyone out there. She's particularly fed up with how several of her fellow skiing champions are questioning why she would return to the sport's most dangerous disciplines at such an advanced age. I did a lot of research. I know people think that I'm insane, but I am actually kind of smart, Vonn said. She claimed, "I don't think I'm reinventing the wheel. I'm just doing what I feel is right for me, but at the same time continuing on what other women have done before me." She's a legend, yes, but could this athlete be as legendary? Watch this to find out.